Have you ever understood exactly what was wrong with your life, but still felt unable to change it? You know what you should do. You know what habits are hurting you. You know which people drain you. You know what decision you have been avoiding. You know that you should sleep earlier. You know that you should stop overthinking. You know that you should take action instead of waiting for the perfect moment. And yet somehow you still stay in the same place. You read the books. You watch the videos. You listen to the advice. You understand the patterns. You can explain your own problems with surprising clarity. You may even give good advice to other people. But when it comes to your own life, nothing really changes. And this is where many people start blaming themselves. They think, maybe I am just lazy. Maybe I do not want it badly enough. Maybe something is wrong with me. But psychology says this is not always about laziness. Sometimes people do not stay stuck because they lack information. They stay stuck because knowing what to do is not the same as being emotionally ready to do it. There is a big difference between awareness and transformation. Awareness means you can see the problem. Transformation means you are willing to face the discomfort that comes with changing it. And many people are very aware, but they are not emotionally safe enough to change. One, they confuse understanding with progress. When people finally understand why they are the way they are, it can feel powerful. They realize why they avoid conflict, why they procrastinate, why they chase people who do not choose them, why they fear failure, why they sabotage good opportunities. And for a moment, understanding feels like freedom. It feels like movement. It feels like healing. But understanding something is only the first step. It is not the whole process. You can understand that you are afraid of rejection and still not send the message. You can understand that you need boundaries and still say yes when you want to say no. You can understand that your habits are hurting you and still repeat them every day, because knowledge lives in the mind. But change has to move through the body. Change asks you to tolerate fear, discomfort, guilt, uncertainty, silence, disappointment, and sometimes even loneliness. This is why some people become addicted to self-awareness. They keep learning more about themselves because learning feels safer than acting. They watch another video. They read another post. They take another personality test. They find another explanation. And every explanation gives them a small feeling of control. But eventually, awareness can become another form of avoidance. Because instead of changing their life, they keep studying why they have not changed it yet. Two, their nervous system still chooses the familiar. People often think they choose what makes them happy, but many times the mind chooses what feels familiar, even if it hurts. A chaotic relationship can feel familiar. Constant stress can feel familiar. Being disappointed can feel familiar. Feeling behind can feel familiar. Starting over and quitting can feel familiar. So when life gives them a chance to change, their conscious mind may want it, but their nervous system may see it as danger. A healthier relationship may feel strange. A calm life may feel suspicious. A new routine may feel uncomfortable. Success may feel exposing. Being seen may feel unsafe. And this creates a painful inner conflict. One part of them says, I want a better life. Another part says, but I do not know who I am without the old one. This is why change can feel scary even when it is good. Because the old version of your life may be painful, but at least it is predictable. You know how to survive it. You know how to explain it. You know how to move inside it. But a new life requires a new identity. And sometimes people are not afraid of change itself. They are afraid of becoming someone they do not know how to be yet. Three, they are waiting to feel ready. A lot of people think action should come after confidence. They tell themselves, I will start when I feel motivated. I will change when I feel stronger. I will speak up when I stop feeling anxious. I will try when I finally believe in myself. But confidence usually does not arrive before action. It grows after action. You do not become brave and then do the difficult thing. You do the difficult thing while feeling afraid. And then your brain slowly learns, I survived that. I can do this again. This is not as dangerous as I thought. But people who feel stuck often wait for the fear to disappear first. They wait for the perfect emotional state. They wait until they feel clear, until they feel inspired, until they feel completely certain. But change rarely begins with certainty. It usually begins with one uncomfortable step, one honest conversation, one decision, one boundary. One morning where you do not repeat the same pattern. One moment where you act differently even though your emotions are still the same. And that is hard, because the old self wants proof before it moves. But the new self is built by moving without proof. 4. They use analysis to avoid emotional pain. Some people do not avoid change by doing nothing. They avoid change by thinking too much. They analyze every emotion, every memory, every pattern, every possible outcome. They ask, why am I like this? What caused this? What if I fail? What if I choose wrong? What if people judge me? What if I change and still feel empty? These questions may sound deep, and sometimes they are important. But when analysis never leads to action, it becomes a trap. Overthinking gives the illusion of responsibility. It feels like you are working on the problem, but often you are only walking around it. Because taking action creates emotional risk. If you try, you might fail. If you speak honestly, someone might leave. If you set a boundary, someone might get upset. If you chase your dream, you might discover how hard it really is. So the mind keeps thinking. Because thinking is private. Thinking is safe. Thinking does not require anyone to see you. Thinking does not force you to change your behavior. But real change is visible. It changes your schedule, your relationships, your choices, your identity. And that is why the mind sometimes hides inside analysis. Not because the person is weak, but because action would make the truth impossible to ignore. 5. They are emotionally attached to the old version of themselves. This part is difficult to admit. Sometimes people say they want to change, but a part of them is still attached to the identity they already have. The one who is always misunderstood, the one who is always waiting, the one who could succeed if life were different, the one who has potential but has not started yet, the one who suffers quietly, the one who keeps saying, one day. This identity may be painful, but it also protects them, because as long as they do not fully try, they do not have to face the possibility of failing. As long as they stay in the planning stage, their dream can remain perfect. As long as they do not begin, they can still imagine that everything would work out if they wanted it badly enough. But once they act, the fantasy meets reality. And reality is slower, messier, less exciting, more repetitive. This is why some people protect their potential more than they protect their future. They would rather believe they could change one day than risk discovering what change actually requires today. 6. They lack emotional endurance. Changing your life is not only about discipline, it is about emotional endurance. Can you keep going when you do not see results yet? Can you stay consistent when nobody praises you? Can you make a better choice when your old habits feel easier? Can you tolerate being bad at something long enough to become good at it? Can you disappoint people who benefited from your lack of boundaries? Can you keep choosing yourself after years of abandoning yourself? This is the part most people do not see. They think change is a big dramatic moment, a powerful decision, a sudden transformation. But most change is quiet. It happens in small moments nobody notices. Choosing not to text someone who always hurts you. Choosing to sleep instead of scrolling. Choosing to work for 20 minutes instead of waiting for motivation. Choosing to say no with a shaking voice. Choosing to return after a bad day instead of quitting completely. These moments do not look impressive, but they are where a new life is built. Not in the moment you understand everything, but in the moment you practice something different. 7. They do not need more information. They need a different relationship with discomfort. This is the truth many people do not want to hear. Sometimes you already know enough. You know the pattern. You know the next step. You know what has to change. But you are still waiting for change to feel comfortable. And it probably will not, at least not in the beginning. Your brain may resist it. Your body may feel tense. Your old habits may pull you back. Your mind may give you excuses. Your emotions may tell you to stop. Not because you are doing the wrong thing, but because you are doing something unfamiliar. And unfamiliar things often feel unsafe before they feel freeing. So maybe the goal is not to wait until you feel ready. Maybe the goal is to move gently while you are not ready, to start small, to stop demanding a perfect transformation, to stop using self-awareness as a place to hide, to choose one behavior and practice it until your life begins to believe you. Because your mind can understand something in one day, but your nervous system may need repetition. Your habits may need structure. Your confidence may need evidence. Your identity may need time. So if you understand everything but still cannot change your life, maybe you are not broken. Maybe you are standing at the painful distance between insight and action. You can see the door. You know where it leads. You know staying where you are hurts. But stepping through still feels terrifying. And that does not mean you are hopeless. It means the next step cannot be another explanation. It has to be one small act of courage. Not a perfect life, not a complete reinvention, not a dramatic transformation overnight. Just one honest action that proves to your brain, I am no longer only someone who understands. I am someone who practices change. Because your life does not change when you finally understand yourself perfectly. Your life begins to change when you stop waiting for understanding to feel comfortable and start acting differently, even while it feels uncomfortable.